£30 million. 3 years, and suddenly the fairy tale had a price tag nobody saw coming. All right, Wrexham fans, if you love the Red Dragons like I do, smash that subscribe button right now. What I'm about to tell you changes everything we thought we knew about this club's journey. Michael Williamson just said the quiet part out loud. Wrexham's executive director dropped a bombshell that's got everyone talking. The club spent 30 million quid this summer. 30 million. Let that sink in for a moment. But here's what's really shocking. Williamson admits Wrexham became a victim of their own success. The rise was too fast, too dramatic, too unbelievable. And now? Now they're paying for it. Literally. This isn't just about transfer fees and wages. This is about a club that went from the National League to League One in the blink of an eye and found themselves staring down a reality they never planned for. The Championship isn't some distant dream anymore. It's knocking on the door, and Wrexham had to answer. Williamson made it crystal clear. Survival in League One was never the plan. Not for this club, not with Hollywood watching, not with a whole world tuned in to welcome to Wrexham. They had to spend big to compete properly, or risk everything they'd built crumbling under the weight of expectation. But to understand how we got here, we need to go back. Cast your mind back to February 2021. Wrexham AFC, the oldest club in Wales, stuck in non-league obscurity. The racecourse ground still had that magic, but the glory days felt like ancient history. Then, Reynolds and McElhenney walked through the door, with a Hollywood budget and a vision that seemed absolutely mental. Fast forward to May 2023. National League champions. The town went absolutely wild. Proper celebrations, tears in the streets, the lot. Welcome to Wrexham was streaming worldwide, and suddenly everyone knew about this little Welsh club with the big dreams. 1 year later, League Two champions. Back-to-back promotions. Phil Parkinson, the gaffer who'd seen it all in his career, was working miracles. The lads were buzzing. Paul Mullin banging in goals, Ben Tozer leading from the back, and a squad that genuinely believed they could achieve anything. But here's what nobody talks about. Behind the scenes, the board was having conversations that would change everything. League One isn't League Two. The quality jumps up massively. The budgets are bigger. The players are better. And the clubs? They've got history, infrastructure, fan bases that dwarf what Wrexham had become accustomed to. The owners knew it. Parkinson knew it. And slowly, the reality set in. If Wrexham went up to League One with a League Two squad, they'd get buttered. Simple as that. The fairy tale would turn into a nightmare faster than you could say, "Welcome to professional football." So the board made a decision. A massive one. They'd back Parkinson properly. Not just a few signings here and there, not a modest budget increase. No, they'd go all in. Summer 2024 arrived, with Wrexham facing their biggest challenge yet. The transfer window opened and the whispers started. Big names, experienced pros, players who'd never normally look twice at a newly promoted League One side. But this wasn't a normal League One side, was it? Stephen Fletcher arrived, a striker with Premier League pedigree. John Daddy Bodverson came in from Millwall. Lewis Brunt, Ollie Rathbone, experienced campaigners who knew this level inside out. The squad was transforming before our eyes. And the fans, buzzing, doesn't even cover it. Every announcement felt like Christmas morning. But nobody knew the full picture. Nobody knew how much Wrexham were investing. Nobody knew the gamble being taken. Then, Michael Williamson sat down for an interview and everything changed. "We've spent roughly £30 million this summer." There it was, out in the open. The biggest investment in Wrexham's 160-year history. The kind of money that would make championship clubs raise their eyebrows. For a League One team, unheard of. But Williamson wasn't finished. He explained the reality Wrexham faced. He said, "We've been a victim of our own success. The rise was too fast, too dramatic, too unbelievable. And now? Now they're paying for it. Literally." Here's the thing that hits hardest. Williamson made it clear. Staying up wasn't good enough. Not for Wrexham. Not anymore. The expectation, the pressure, the eyes of the world watching through that documentary, it all meant one thing. Wrexham had to aim higher. The championship wasn't just a dream. It was the target. Think about what that means for a second. A club that was in non-league football 3 years ago is now spending 30 million quid to compete for promotion to the championship. Not to survive, to compete, to push for another promotion. What would you do in the board's position? Play it safe and risk getting relegated back to League Two? Build slowly and watch the momentum die? Or go all in, back your manager and trust that the success continues? They chose the latter. And it's either brilliant or absolutely mad. Maybe both. The investment wasn't just in players either. Infrastructure, coaching staff, medical facilities, everything got upgraded. Wrexham were building a club that could sustain success, not just enjoy it temporarily. But here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to say out loud. £30 million creates expectation. Massive expectation. If Wrexham don't go up this season, questions will be asked. Big questions. Was it worth it? Did they overspend? Did they panic? This is the moment everything changed. The moment Wrexham stopped being the plucky underdog and became a club with serious ambitions and serious money behind them.
The reaction from Wrexham supporters was fascinating. Split right down the middle, if we're being honest. Half the fan base absolutely loved it. Finally, they said, we're being ambitious. We're not settling for mediocrity. On social media, you saw comments like, "This is what investment looks like," and "Hollywood's backing us properly." But the other half? Nervous. Really nervous. 30 million is a lot of money, even for Reynolds and McElhenney. What if it doesn't work? What if we're building something unsustainable? What if this becomes a football manager save gone wrong? Local media in Wrexham went into overdrive. The leader ran features about what this means for the town, the economy, the club's future. BBC Wales coverage highlighted how unprecedented this spending is for a League One club. National pundits weighed in too. Some praised the ambition, others questioned the wisdom. You can't buy success, one ex-pro said on telly. League One is a graveyard for big spending clubs who thought they could shortcut their way up. Inside the dressing room, though, the lads were buzzing. New quality players arriving meant everyone had to raise their game. Competition for places got fierce. Training intensity went through the roof. This wasn't a squad content with survival. This was a squad building something special. Phil Parkinson, ever the professional, kept his cards close to his chest. But you could see it in his eyes during press conferences. He'd been backed, properly backed. Now he had to deliver. The owners released a statement through the club emphasizing their long-term commitment. This wasn't a flash in the pan. This was sustainable investment in Wrexham's future. Whether you believed that or not probably depended on your natural optimism levels. So what does this actually mean for Wrexham's season? Everything. The promotion race in League One is brutal this year. Birmingham with their millions, Huddersfield trying to bounce back, Stockport County riding high. It's absolutely stacked. Wrexham spending 30 million sends a message. We are not here to make up the numbers. But it also creates pressure, enormous pressure. If Wrexham finish mid-table after spending that kind of money, it'll be seen as a failure. Fair or not, that's the reality they've created. For the players, it means no excuses. You've got the quality around you, the resources are there, the investment's been made, now perform. For Parkinson, it's the biggest challenge of his managerial career. He's got the tools, he's got the backing. Can he deliver another promotion? The gaffer's experienced enough to handle the pressure, but this is different. This is Wrexham with Hollywood money competing at the level they haven't seen in decades. This reminds me of when clubs like Fleetwood Town or Burton Albion tried to punch above their weight with big investment. Sometimes it works brilliantly, sometimes it doesn't. The difference? Wrexham have something those clubs didn't. Global attention, passionate support, and owners genuinely committed to the project. The documentary adds another layer too. Every match, every decision, every result gets scrutinized not just by League One fans, but by millions watching worldwide. That's pressure you can't quantify. Looking ahead, if Wrexham go up this season, the spending was genius, visionary even. They'll need to invest again in the Championship, sure, but the foundations will be there. If they don't, questions will linger, big ones. Next few months are absolutely crucial. The January transfer window looms. Will they spend more if they're in the promotion mix, or have they already gone all in? One thing's certain, Wrexham's journey just got a lot more complicated and a lot more expensive. At the end of the day, this is what being a Wrexham fan is all about, believing in something bigger. From non-league obscurity to £30 million transfer windows in 3 years. It's absolutely mental when you stop and think about it. This club has been through everything. Administration, heartbreak, near extinction. And now they're spending money like a championship club while still in League One. The rise has been unbelievable, but the pressure's just beginning. From Hollywood to the racecourse, this is our story, and it's far from over. Let me know in the comments, is 30 million brilliant ambition or dangerous overspending? Hit like if you're back in Wrexham no matter what, and I'll see you in the next one. Come on, you Reds!